Hello, good evening. Happy Friday evening to everyone. This is Malika again with Coco and the Sun podcast. And today we are going to read chapter 17. I did have a few, well, one insight. Today. Insight was actually given to me by a friend. A few days ago, she had said that she understood that she had to slow down, like slow down, slow down. And like, I always know I don't like the hustle and bustle. The slow life is what I like. But when she said it, I really pay attention to it, and so many understandings came. Because if we slow down, we actually accelerate. That's the paradox of it all. If we take time to listen to what we want, if we take time from the hustle and bustle, if we pull out of all of that drama and noise and slow down and be quiet and listen to what we want. We want to do, what we want to eat, what we want to be, who we want to talk with, everything. Listen, that's how we listen to our heart. We have to slow down. Then we know where we're supposed to do, and what aligns for us comes faster. I think. I want to say, I know. I feel like this is a truth, like a universal truth. Just if we slow down, we actually accelerate. However, also understand that we do need the hustle and bustle, because if without it, we wouldn't know that we need to slow down. So everything has its place. Everything has its place. Also remembered from the hypnosis I did last year, the QHHT, a message came in to slow down as well. If we slow down in our interactions with each other, we wouldn't react as quickly, because we'd be able to see where the other person is coming from. Even if they're responding in a reactive way, we'll be able to see or take note that this could be coming from a place of past experiences, defense mechanisms. We'll be able to be love to each other easier if we slow down in the moment. So slowing down is, like, when she said it, is key. I think is key. Anyways, that's what I got today. Other stuff too, but still sorting that stuff out. But that was a sure message. Like, I know that it's a true thing, So I hope it helps someone. Or maybe somebody can expand on it and help me. Hello. Okay, chapter 17 of Bringers of the Dawn is called The Language of Light. The avatars and masters have now permeated the gridwork of the world, bringing with them their own tools for teaching. The tools that are being utilized on this planet are artifacts that are not of your dimension. Symbolic forms that literally have a life of their own. They make up what is known as the language of light. You are implanted with a structure, a geometric form, which triggers certain information within you. It also facilitates for those who work with you the sending of information directly into your being. Oh, is that how we get downloads and we just understand stuff sometimes? Like that slow down thing. The large majority of you are implanted, and if you are not now, shortly, you will be if you choose to open and align yourself. No one is implanted who does not choose it. This structure of the language of light is a way of receiving information and energy to facilitate your development. It is a method of learning without doing it through books or through intellect. It involves opening to the belief that there is indeed a hierarchy, immense beyond your comprehension, that has been working with humanity since the very beginning. Yeah, I think this new moon coming, I don't know, it feels good. I'm sensitive to the new moons. Sometimes I feel the full moons too, like the last full moon, I felt that one. Okay. The day before, I was like, oh boy. I think I mentioned it in the podcast. But full moons are kind of the ones I connect with the most. I really like that you don't see them for a day or two, and then they'll just pop out on the third day, just a little sickle, just a little sickle. You give it a little piece. You see a little piece. Not all of them, just a little something. But anyways, but I feel it, like, and this one feels really, really good. Last night, the energy is different. Started last night, and today feels really good. I don't know. Let's see how it how it progresses. But yeah, feels hopeful. It feels hopeful. Like good things are coming. Good things are coming. Good things are coming. Good things are coming. Anyways, this hierarchy works with love, cherishes who you are, and has been able to see through the time mechanisms that are keyed into the planet to know that consciousness is ready for the evolutionary leap. Don't mind how I brush my hair over there. Oh gosh. I could have brushed it up a little better. I just put it up quick. Been having a really good chill day. Doing my little water paints and thing. Been a good day. I say today's been like a flow day. It feels really good. And I want to maintain the flow longer. I want to know, like, I really want to study the flow. Like, how do I get in it? And then how do I maintain it for the day so it doesn't like dissipate? I stay in that frame of mind. So today's been a good day. Um, I don't know. It's been maintained. I think it's really following your heart's desires. I mean, I repeat this all the time. Following your joys is like integral to it all. But you have to listen to figure out what you want to do because it differs every day. It could even differ in every moment. And then also I think energy of the day has something to do with it too, because some days are just laggy, and then some days are just really hopeful and everything feels so good. Going for walks, going out in nature, going on the trees, thinking of others, not just yourself. Others that you want to do things for, people you want to do things for, pets you want to do things for. Helps make you feel good. Can't do it in an obligation way though. You have to, it's something you want to do, people you love or pets you love and stuff like that. Talking to people you love. All these things contribute to the flow and a great day. Anyways. There are 144,000 members of the spiritual hierarchy who are infused in the grid work of the planet at this time. Each master has its own seal that represents one portion of the light language, and you have 144,000 seals of energy that will eventually be infused within your being. What? 144,000 seals of energy? That's a lot of energy, boy. I'm back with my little club soda for strawberry one. From Bubbly. I love it. My God, I really should have brushed my hair. I don't know. Anyways, please forgive me, guys. Okay, to start with, you will work with the 12 forms that the body will be able to hold. Much later, once the transformation has occurred, there will be an infusion of the entire 144,000 symbolic language structures through your being. That will be an unfoldment that cannot even be explained in this lifetime. This mutation is a process unfolding within you that will allow you to move into another realm of experience. Each person on the planet has the potential to move through this mutation. Many will stop the process because they do not have the desire to align themselves with higher consciousness. When you are aware of who you are, that is one thing. When you become aware of the divine consciousness that sees this planet and interact that is vast, loving, and works with you, and when you call to that consciousness and ask to be a portion of it, that is when you are implanted with the geometric forms. Yeah, I think I should underline some of this. The forms that are implanted come in a variety of shapes, such as the pyramid structure. Why is the pyramid so important? On this planet and throughout the cosmos, the pyramid structure is utilized to represent a great unity of consciousness. It is the structure that is the most difficult to create in all of its many facets, and yet it is a structure of perfection. It is a structure that gathers energy from Earth and sends it outward. The structures of the sphere and the spiral will also be implanted inside you. The spiral is very dear to many of you because you have sojourned this within cultures and societies where the spiral was utilized to communicate many ideas. There will also be implanted the structures of the parallel lines and the cube. And of course, there will be the structure of the Merkaba vehicle, which is the five-sided figure. The five-sided figure represents the figure of the human being in its most unlimited state, the totally free human. Oh, some of you know it is a symbolic structure called a Merkaba vehicle. It is the human design without any limitations. It is the human being able to fly, which is something that a large majority of you do not think you can do. The implant comes when you truly commit yourself to what was formerly not possible. Well, yes. I don't know. Which implant or geometric form will be implanted inside you will depend, first of all, on your request for alignment. It will also depend on your belief that these entities choose to be available to you if you choose to be available to them. As you begin to unfold and allow what are called miracles or magnificent events to manifest in your life, they will begin. Many of you will start with the implant of the circle because it represents God-formed unity and completeness. Some of you will select the pyramid structure to be implanted since you have had many lifetimes and discovered and still undiscovered pyramids all over the world, all over the planet. You think your geography is known, but there are many things still undiscovered because they are slipping from one reality to another. Deep within jungles, there are many buried pyramids, often lying buried beneath mounds of earth. There are still many wonders to uncover. Those of you who are willing to believe that there are truly no limitations will be able to take the Merkaba structure and move yourself off the planet with it while you're still living on the planet. The desire to do this must exist in you if you are to be implanted with the Merkaba. Already, some of you have attempted to travel with it, and you know how it can be used in your being. When you truly call the Merkaba to yourself, and you're willing to get the feeling of what that truly means, to be unlimited consciousness that travels with your body without your body leaving the planet, that is when implanting will occur. The Merkaba is not the highest implanted, as there are no highest or lowest implantings. Implanting comes when it will best suit your personal development. Once you have become implanted, there will be an unending process of new forms coming into your being. You do not consciously choose the form that will be implanted in you. However, you choose the life you have, which opens you to the structure of the language of light. You choose what is important to you each day. That is your access to these forms. Oh, I should underline it. Okay. Through this marriage of energies, eventually you will all hold the alphabet of light inside your beings. I like that alphabet of light. inside your beings, and this alphabet of light will teach you. If you have dreamt of geometric forms, it is an indication that the forms are working with you. I have not dreamt of anything like that yet. I did. I did. I dreamt of the flower of life. I love the flower of life. It looked like little small particles just floating in the air. That's a long time ago. I forgot about that dream. Or perhaps you love studying geometry in school. If you wish to know what you have been implanted with, see which forms continuously come first or are larger than the others. There are many shapes that do not even have names. There will be shapes that you know and recognize that later will take new forms and new shapes that your consciousness cannot translate. The spiral is one of the basic forms of the language of light geometry. It is a bridge, a teaching unto itself. The form of it is coded with information, and when you ride the spiral, it is seemingly non-ending. This shows you that the journey into yourself is non-ending and that the journey outside yourself is non-ending. You, as a species, will be able to split your consciousness and go in both directions so that consciousness can be connected. By taking the non-ending journey within and the non-ending journey without, you link yourself up into a connected spiral in which there is universal truth. That's a good one. We have said that the cells in your body contain the entire history of the universe. Ideally, you will come to realize that existence of this golden library within your cells during this lifetime and learn how to read what is there. Taking the spiral within is one part of the journey. The trick is to both go within and go without, and to realize they are the same. The spiral exists in many dimensions. When you visualize the spiral, you will feel that you have known it, yet at first you're only knowing one aspect of it. When you begin to grow with the spiral, you will realize that it has so many dimensions that you could spend the rest of eternity, to use your term, exploring it. It grows. The spiral is the key to tapping into what is inside of you. Your DNA is in the form of a spiral. Spirals are all around you. The language of light rides upon the light encoded filaments that also descend in spiral form. This is something that is experiential, and it will grow for you. In your meditation, feel yourself riding a spiral like you would ride a tornado. Visualize yourself seeing a spiral approaching that is like a tornado. Then instead of running from it, stand there and feel yourself whirled up inside of it. Ride it, for it is a doorway to other realities. This language of light, geometrical shapes and forms, are collections of experiences of individuals who have incarnated on this planet, defied the human laws, awakened themselves to high abilities, and then manifested themselves as language and geometric components. Once these energies existed as men and women on this planet, they have evolved themselves into geometric symbols, and they exist in their sphere of activity just like you exist in your body. These entities exist in a language system or geometric system. There are universes of these systems, and there are visitations into your own universe from those universes at this time. There are circles and other shapes being put upon this planet in the grain fields that are inexplicable as far as you're concerned. These imprints are a frequency, not a process or action. There is a song or a story or language that's being implanted on the surface of the earth with language symbols. These symbols come to establish a certain frequency, and they are going to increase. Eventually, some of you will build houses that are geometric shapes that are not simply squares or rectangles. Many of the dwellings in the Pleiades do not have shapes as you know them, and it is understood there that shapes and angles hold energy. In astrology, it is understood that certain angles have power points and that certain things happen with certain angles. It is the same with shapes. The Great Pyramid is all about the use of angles and shapes. Energy collects in angles, in shapes, and in forms, and you can learn to create these shapes and live in and around them. Energies are formed and transmitted in this way. You will also discover that certain degrees have certain powers and that some angles are very uncomfortable for you to be in. It is sometimes better to sleep in the middle of the room than having your bed jammed into a 90-degree angle because the 90-degree angle energy creates an energy lock. This is in the middle of the room, the energy flows around you. Oh. In third dimensional reality, many portals are now being opened to bring about evolution upon Earth. At one time, the planet was sealed off and put in quarantine because there were forces that fought here. There have been incredible wars upon this planet, and some of the vestiges of these wars still exist as very barren areas upon the planet. This was a time of chaos and confusion when creator gods fought creator gods. During the most recent wave of wars, about 10 or 12,000 years ago, Earth was sealed off because those beings who operated with light lost the battle. Light does not always win, you know. Light is not always the victor as you think of a victor, for light must learn to integrate with all portions of itself. Prime creator is within all things, and light and dark are part of the creator. Therefore, light must incorporate with the dark portion of itself. Time has orchestrated and brought events together. A number of cycles were set to pass since the last wars, after which time the energy portals into the planet would again be opened so that light could enter. This is that time period. Light is being orchestrated to once again come onto the planet, and it is increasing daily. In order for energy to work its way through your consciousness, it must house itself on the planet. Intelligence penetrates in the form of waves making geometric shapes on Earth. It is not that a spaceship comes down, makes crop circles in the night, and then takes off. Although some circles have been caused by ship landings, intelligence can take the guise of any form it wants, and very often intelligence comes in the form of a wave. A time will come when there will actually be a wave of light that sweeps Earth. Intelligence is beyond the spoken word and beyond the written word, for it is frequency and sometimes comes in geometric shapes. Pythagoras had a beginning grasp of this, but his geometry was not understood by others. Geometry is an evolved intelligence, a collection of experience that can communicate huge amounts of information. Actually, crop circles all over the planet are put there by sounds above human frequency to implement these language shapes. Many times in the beginning, these shapes are circles. They will evolve into triangle lines and many other things. The crop circles have been most prevalent in England and throughout Europe. However, they are also in the area previously known as the Soviet Union and in South America. They are even in the United States, although some people are doing a good job of pretending they are not there. We understand that some of your news broadcasters are planning upcoming shows about these crop circles. We will see how much they pretend they don't know about them. It's going to be interesting. The geometric shapes are like hieroglyphs. The hieroglyphs and pictographs carved in stone on this planet are a similar generation of intelligence. In other words, if one were to read the hieroglyphs based on the Rosetta Stone, the hieroglyphs would communicate one thing. If one were able to remember the secret language of the priests, the hieroglyphs would tell another story. And if one were able to understand the language of the creator gods, they would say something entirely different. Circles and shapes being put on Earth are here to assist you in holding and managing your frequency and having the courage to live your light. They make frequency information available in a subtle way, and no one can figure them out yet. These shapes are all connected to one another, and if they were all written out simultaneously on one farmer's field, something would happen to them immediately. They are spaced from one continent to another to move a frequency band around the planet that will help activate Earth's grid work. They will allow you not to feel so weird with what you know and to feel more comfortable with the changes in frequency as they occur. This is just a little bit of what the crop circles do. They are quite interesting. Many of them are designed and constructed by what some call ascended masters. There's also a joke behind them. You must understand that some things, as they become more evolved, develop a tremendous sense of humor. They see the humor in all things. As we have said, geometric shapes and forms are carriers of intelligence. They are frequency waves that can be modulated and changed. The shapes coming onto Earth are like energy gates or energy glyphs. They hold intelligence and are being set up to eventually connect and make an intelligent grid work around the planet. This grid work will have a frequency that humanity can use to evolve. The whole language is not on the planet at this time. The glyphs come onto Earth as a result of a certain involvement of consciousness. They work with places that are vortex centers that are now drawing them in. Over billions of years that Earth has been in orbit, these centers have been covered over and buried. Some have gone into dormancy, and many of them are being reawakened because the seal around the planet has been penetrated. The crop circles are phenomenological expressions of consciousness. They come into your reality. What does phenomenological mean? I feel I need to Google that before we move. Phenomenological. Relating to the science of phenomena as distinct from that of the nature of being. Denoting or relating to an approach that concentrates on the study of consciousness and the objects of direct experience. The phenomenological approaches rely solely on personal experience. Based on phenomena. Okay, the crop circles are phenomenological expressions of consciousness. So phenomenal expressions of consciousness. It's like a phenomenal thing that occurs and we all are intrigued by it. They come into your reality to show you that the reasoning mind cannot control all of the data, much as it would like to. These events occur to intersect with the coding of consciousness of all human beings. Whenever reality can't be explained, a certain niche is opened within consciousness. The crop circles are completely beyond the logical mind. Therefore, they force a consensus view of reality to expand. Since reality, as formally designed, cannot house these events as a possibility, they are a trigger. They force reality to move beyond its own limitations. There are a number of reasons for the existence of crop circles. Basically, they exist to force reality to move, to get you feeling rather than thinking. Most who explore these circles think their way through the circles rather than feel their way through them. Great Britain is having a rash of them because, in general, the British have a very logically oriented consciousness. However, the land of the British Isles is imprinted with megalithic spirals and stone forms that have intensely imprinted the intuitive faculties of the inhabitants. This phenomenon has no logic to it. It is forcing a logically oriented society to recognize something that makes no sense. And it is being done in a very playful and obvious way without creating a threat to anyone's view of reality. If ships were to land everywhere, people would get upset. When corn lies down in concentric circles and doesn't even break or die, no one really gets too upset. Do you understand how energies play with you? It is necessary to do certain things so that you can get it and figure it out without having your circuits overloaded. This language is being introduced into the planet as a story a glyph of information that holds a frequency to assist you in holding your own frequency. As you awaken, it is easy for others to read you and recognize you. You are monitored all of the time because there are devices that monitor the evolution and location of consciousness. Once consciousness has reached a certain place, assistance is brought from the outside to establish other realms of that frequency. In other words, say you open a restaurant and it is a big hit. You run and maintain it and sell really good food. Then someone comes along and says, how about franchising? Let's get you everywhere. These geometric shapes help you franchise the frequency by spreading it all over the planet and holding it. They bring you to a new level of attainment. Well, that is amazing. And that is the end of chapter 17. So next podcast, we're going to do chapter 18. We only have 4 more chapters. That's wild. If I do one every day, we'll be finished by like Tuesday. Anyway, so chapter 18 is going to be Symphonies of Consciousness. You know, I wrote a poem about symphonies. Let me see if I will read it for you. I got this symphonies within symphonies within symphonies within symphonies. Like we are symphonies within symphonies, and the universe is symphony within symphonies. That came to me like, I'll tell you one. Let me see where I have it in my notes. I was writing little notes, you know. I wrote it on January 29th. So about 6 weeks ago. I hope you hear yourself in the symphony of life and cosmos and the universe. But beyond that, I hope you hear all the millions of symphonies that make up your being. Memories and feelings and occurrences and emotions and reactions and responses and all the things that it means to be alive. Symphonies within symphonies within symphonies within symphonies. From the beginning of being infinitely. I hope you get to remember this, your lifetime, in this lifetime. Yes. And look, they said it's like the next chapter will be Symphonies of Consciousness. I'm curious to see how it correlates with this poem that I wrote just one day, sitting down thinking of how everything is a symphony. Isn't it like weird it all connects? Oh my God, I just love it. I love it. I love it. And then like it all like makes sense. Anyways, hope you have a really great weekend. And I'll talk to you next podcast. I hope you know you are loved and you experience love and you know that you are loved and you're kind and gentle and loving with yourself. Even if you don't think you deserve it, try and just try it. Even if you don't think you deserve it, say, I intend to love myself fully and completely. And just leave it there. Don't plan how, don't worry about it. Just say, yeah. Just leave it there and see what happens. How every day you learn to love yourself. I do that, and like every day I find another aspect of myself that I just really love and I accept. I'm not like saying I don't have my off days, but I've come a long way, Jack. I've come a long way. I have like, okay, this is personal, but I have like cellulite on my legs that I really like worry about with like shorts and stuff. And the other day I was just walking, I'm like, you know what? I like my little dimples. I feel very womanly with them, you know? And so for me, now that's going to be incorporated in my feminine aspect and feeling my feminine side. We all have like, you know, both enmeshed feminine and masculine aspects, heart and mind. Um, ego and higher self, all of these things represent all of that, right? Action and inaction, being still, right? So I just decided like, yeah, I'm gonna love it. And it kind of is cool and it's part of me and my makeup. It's just part of me. It just felt like I just accepted it. It was just like so easy. It came out of nowhere. Glimpsing myself passing in the mirror, and I was like, oh, that's me. I don't like that. That's me. I'm okay with this. So it was unexpected. I didn't have to sit and work on it, right? It just came in a weird moment and a little glance, a little movement. So you just intend and to see how it unfolds and how it comes to you in the time that it comes. Isn't that amazing? Okay. Anyways, have a really great day, a really great evening, a really great weekend, following all your heart's desires and joys. And I'll see you next podcast. Bye.